Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with morsels of thought number 1429. Today is the Saturday after, I don't know what they call it. They've got names for all these days after Thanksgiving, before Christmas, and all that. It's the first Saturday right after Thanksgiving. So I hope you're having a happy holiday. I tried to inspire you to have a great day with morsels of a thought of wisdom. Knowing the right thing to do is wisdom. Actually doing it is virtue. I got that out of a fortune cookie many, many years ago. Cat hairs in my mouth. Gosh, sorry. I haven't been eating cats now. No. I got it out of a fortune cookie many years ago. Today, I try to inspire you to have morsels of a thought of wisdom that you can use to go and find the right things to do. I borrow wisdom from authors like Anjel Hartwell, who wrote Be Heard by Millions and Live Your Destiny, a creative age leader's guide to speak, sell, serve, and succeed. And this is her book. We're in chapter 7 right now, and she is very kindly giving me 2 copies of her book so that I can mark one up. Oh, goodness gracious. That was so kind of her. And she sent them separately, too. So, goodness gracious, twice postage. Chapter 7, ready your back office with a team that has your back. When you let yourself ask for help and accept support, when you willingly admit that you don't know everything, people who are eager to help you will naturally come into your life. Let yourself receive. I am wickedly smart, and I bet you are too. Obviously, you're smart. You picked up this book and have read all the way to chapter 7. Since I'm so smart, a smarty pants, I often think to myself that I can figure stuff out on my own. Oh, by the way, the outfit I'm wearing has pants that look exactly like what you're seeing on top. And the author says, I have many times figured out stuff on my own. One thing that I have figured out is that I'm just good enough to be dangerous at a whole lot of things and not good enough to be great at many of them. I have gotten myself into a lot of trouble in my business when I tried to do it all by myself. All myself. One of the best ways to fail is to try to do it all yourself, especially when you are setting up your virtual speaking business. Technology is going to be your biggest friend, and having the absolute best people in your back office running the technology will make your life so much easier. It will allow you to do what you're here to do, be the star. You should be out there speaking and serving the people you were put here to serve. I think it's downright selfish and small-minded to believe that you can do it all brilliantly. There are a bunch of geniuses out there who think HTML code, shopping carts, click-through rates, and analytics are the best things since sliced bread. I'm not one of them, and unless your message is focused entirely on an aspect of technology, I'll bet you aren't either. For a long time, I played the role of administrative assistant in my own business. I needed to step out of that role and step into the role of chief excitement officer, not chief get everything done officer. I continue to play with these roles and to get clear on where I best serve myself, my business, and my clients. Let's take a look at what role you might best play right now by working on the following exercises right here. How would I best serve my business? And I said, I'll be the face of my business. How could I best serve my message? And I said, I speak it every day. And how could I best serve my potential clients? I could show up every day. What do you know? I best serve when I speak, the author says, I best serve when I speak, sell, serve, and socialize. Those are the 4 main activities in which I excel. When I'm succeeding and smiling, I'm even more attractive. The role that I want to embody in my business is the role of the empowered messenger, as I have defined it. So figure out your definition of that role for yourself. Let's ready your back office so that you can be heard by millions and live your destiny. You want to attract and work with an A. Excuse me. It says A team. It doesn't say at you. It says A team. Good timing. Okay, let's start that sentence over. You want to attract and work with an A team that has your back. Sorry. One time I called somebody on the telephone, and the first thing that I said was, achoo. Sometimes these things just happen. Besides what I shared above that I am genius at speaking, selling, service delivery, and socializing, I realized there is more. I'm good at seeing the big picture strategy, being successful, and smiling. So I actually have 7 S's: strategizing, speaking, selling, serving, socializing, succeeding, and smiling. Those 7 S's have to be supported by an organizational structure and an A team, not a true team. A team. Please go back to the chapter where we uncovered your genius areas and have that handy as we talk about your team. You will have gaping holes in your business that are not being filled by your personal genius. These holes are where you want to insert awesome team members. Initially, you might not be ready for a team, but I can assure you that as soon as you possibly can, you want to start building your team. A team supports your ability to expand your reach and grow your revenues significantly. You shouldn't spend a whole lot of your time and energy performing activities that are not in your genius areas. Surround yourself with people for whom those activities are in their genius areas. Who is behind you running the show while you are out speaking, socializing, delivering service, and performing in your area of genius? In my business, I have a few virtual based assistants who support me. Here is what my main virtual assistants handle for me: booking my speaking gigs, including all of the back and forth that happens between us and the host when I'm booked to speak on a virtual event; getting my e-zine out on a weekly basis. E-zine, at magazine, e-zine. Managing our shopping cart and contact management system. Handling requests for me to participate in book launches and other partner promotions. Managing customer service on the back end if something doesn't function properly with one of my virtual products. Booking prospect calls. Managing my support email inbox. Setting up community call web pages. Marketing support and analytics work. Managing my list and segmentation. Handling automated product setup. Developing my web pages and updates to my site. Posting blog posts. At the back of the book, the checklists will include an exhaustive list of all the pieces of the back office puzzle that I've revealed in my business so far. Some team members turn out to be more like strategic partners. One of the latest additions to my team is someone who comes with her own team. Her company and expertise is at a different level than my virtual assistants. I consider this person and their team as more of a strategic partner because she has her own capacity. She has built her own business to multi-six-figure status, and she has her own team of people who manage all kinds of things for her. I brought her in for a specific project initially. I do suggest that you start small with people to vet them and make sure working with them will work for you. You need to get to know them a bit before turning over too many of the back end tasks to them. This company was brought in to help me expand my reach via article marketing and promotions through social media with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. They post little pieces of my content or announcements. When I go into any of these sites, I can just socialize, doing one of the things that I do best, remember? It's important to socialize and have this two-pronged approach to your visibility in the virtual world. That belongs to Chloe. That belongs to Chloe. Hey, 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 that belongs to Chloe. Uh-huh, that's Chloe's. Yeah, it is. You can have some, but don't finish it. It's important to socialize and have this two-pronged approach to your visibility in the virtual world. When you build a virtual speaking platform, you want to make sure that you have visibility on the internet that isn't just promotion. You don't want to be out there promoting yourself, because that's like being a billboard. Eventually, it turns into a blur, and people don't even pay attention to it anymore. When you socialize, people understand that you're a human being, not a machine. Connect with people on a deeper level than just that surface of what do you do? Find out who these people are and make friends with them. We covered this in the last chapter about asking for strategic alliances. Hey there. Yeah, you can have some. You can have some. Excuse me. We have known one another for a long time, and it's only recently that we started working with one another. Part of the reason we are now doing business together is because we socialized first. I knew her online, and we had met in person at a training event. I understood what she was about, and I liked her energy. I saw that she was professional. We built a relationship over time that eventually led to us becoming strategic partners and working together. Here are some criteria to use when you hire people or outsource your work. Do you know who they are? Do you know what they do? Is their work a fit for what you are looking for now? Does it feel like there is a good fit or match for your businesses to work together? Do you vibe? Do you enjoy being around each other? Vibe with capital VIBE. She and I jive and vibe with one another. She roars and I rumble. We rock and we roll. We have a good time when we're together as human beings, aside from the business piece, and that's really important. Make sure that you and your team members enjoy working together. You can hire the best person out there, but if you don't enjoy each other, it's going to be a painful relationship. Sometimes it's better to have a harmonious relationship because you can always improve skills. Relationship isn't something you can train for. Be prepared. Know what you need when, and budget for your incompetence as well as for tasks that you don't really want to learn. For example, excuse me, I could have figured out how to build a WordPress site, but I didn't want to. It also just isn't the best use of a star's time, is it? When I say to know what you feel when, when I say to know what you need when, I mean to move at a pace that makes sense for you. Please don't get overwhelmed. Know that you are building something. Once it has been built, it will create a machine, an engine, a ship, an entrepreneurship that will carry you for many years to come. Of course, you're always going to be growing and trying new things, but don't take on too much at once. It wasn't until I was in my 5th year online as a business owner that I started looking at the article marketing thing. I had been on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn socially, but I hadn't really leveraged them in a way I am now, in the way I am now. There's a story about how you can eat an elephant. There's a story about how you eat an elephant. You eat it one bite at a time. Some of you are going to start at the ear, some of you are going to start at the back leg, and some of you are going to start in the middle. Keep moving forward fearlessly, taking one step at a time, choosing the things that feel most right for you. Be willing to test things out and see what's a profitable and revenue generating avenue for you that also brings you delight. Stop doing stuff after giving it a fair trial if you aren't getting results. You don't need to test things forever. You can pretty much tell within 3 to 6 months if something you are doing is generative or degenerative for you and your business. If you follow this guidance, you'll be fine. As you build your virtual speaking business, your number one go-to for creating revenue, lists, and relationships is getting out there speaking. You need to ask to speak. Then you must be prepared to speak. You do need to have your back office set up at a minimum to be able to go out there and present yourself as a credible virtual speaker. If you aren't prepared, you'll appear unready. Then it will be difficult to get another gig. You must make it as easy as possible for your host. Make sure you know what you need when you need it. And if you don't know what you need when you need it, get help from a mentor or a coach who's been there before, like me. You may want to establish a long-term relationship with a mentor or a coach who can help you move through this process over the course of 4, 6, 9 months, a year, or more. I'm not saying you can't do it yourself, but you will shave years off the learning curve and save oodles of time and money by having a mentor who has already made the mistakes, has figured out systems and processes, and cracked the code for creating cash and high-paying, raving fan clients. High paying, raving fan clients. Get your project management managed. It's important to develop a great way of managing your workflow. I had to write out my standard operating procedures. In this way, if I have a change in my team for whatever reason, my whole business won't fall apart. My strategic partner helps people like me manage our businesses, but she has a business manager for her own business. She also has standard operating procedures in place so that even if her business manager decided to retire to Tahiti tomorrow, her business would survive. I didn't get my SOP in place until 5 years into my business building process because I was more focused on getting speaking gigs, selling and delivering services, and building strategic alliances. Remember what I said about your business being a process? I'm still working on it. But the more structure you have under you, the more of a foundation you will have under you, and the more solid you will feel when you stand in your power and share your genius. There are a variety of project management platforms available for accountability. I have a platform in my own business for working with my virtual assistants called Teamwork PM. Capital Teamwork, capital P, capital M. Teamwork PM, one word. They receive tasks and populate Teamwork PM with to-do lists. Teamwork PM is also a place where we have all of my login information for all of my websites. I have what it feels I have what feels like 60 gazillion logins and passwords, and all the information is contained on Teamwork PM. We also store testimonials in 5 file folders in our project management site so that if we're building an info page for a call that I'm doing, I can just grab the proper testimonial. We also include all of my affiliation links in there. It's all right there in our project management platform. In the last chapter, you learned about having strategic alliances. These can also be affiliate relationships. Every time you have an affiliate relationship, the back end of that is handled by technology. There are several different technology options for managing your affiliate relationships and to sell products online, manage customers, and receive money. I'm in the middle of a transition in my business to a new platform that manages all of that, including my mailing list, customer relations, and shopping cart. It also has some pretty powerful ways to collect data and sort customers so that marketing can be customized. This new platform is the race car version, the best of the best, and the same one that big name internet marketers are using at this point. I did not start with this though. I started my business with a simple contact management system that I could use to collect names. Remember that you must collect names. Good morning, Mandy Alexi. As you're building your virtual speaking business, you also need a system for receiving money. As you are just starting out, you can take PayPal. I did that myself at the very beginning, but I've heard some horror stories from people who have had their PayPal accounts frozen. When you start to take in money, you don't want to have your account frozen. As you grow, Good morning. As you grow, you will invest in a shopping cart and contact management system. Your merchant accounts must all be linked together in the back end with your products and your bank account. I have no idea how the technology works on the back end, but this is what I hire people to manage for me because I don't have time to learn it. This book is Be Heard by Millions and Live Your Destiny. Here is what I do know about the way the money flows into my business. My assistant sets up a sales page for a product. I'm out there speaking about that product and selling it. That sales info page is hosted on a web server and has sales copy on it that has been written. I have written most of my own copy at this point and just recently began the process of finding a copywriter. That's another team member that you can have on the back end. I'm now in the process of building an info page to sell the Be Heard by Millions virtual speaking business builders bootcamp home study program. Bootcamp is trademarked. Home study program. And the copy for that entire project is going to be written by someone other than me. After all, I'm very busy writing this book so that you can read it. This sales page needs to contain great copy that tells people the benefits of buying your product or program, along with a link for paying you. That link in my case connects to the back end with my shopping cart because which then delivers the virtual products to people. It also automatically receives their money and puts it into my bank account. Yay, we love when this happens. We love when that happens. There are several different ways to take money now besides PayPal, such as Square, WePay, and Stripe. These sites allow you to take credit or debit cards. They are also automated merchant account companies that understand this internet model. Your local commercial bank can probably provide you with a merchant account, which is where I started when I had my art gallery. Many local banks don't understand the internet model, though. The merchant account providers that do understand the internet model are going to want a lot of background and financial information from you before they will let you do business with them. I just added a second merchant account provider in my business because I found one that offered better rates. Even though I've been doing this for years, they needed a lot of information and they refused to approve me for my highest ticket work. That means I'll save with them by processing my lower ticket work, but must stick with my existing merchant account company for my highest ticket work. I've heard it's good to have two, and it's strange but true. I've had more than one colleague who had a hold put on their merchant account funds because they started making too much money. Imagine that. Having two merchant accounts will keep your cash flowing so that you can stay in business. This is an advanced move, however, and not something you need to be overly concerned about in the beginning. I just wanted to give you the long view so that you can be prepared to receive millions when you start being heard by millions. It takes time to get set up with a merchant account though, so be sure to jump on setting up your first one right away. You also need to have a business bank account separate from your personal account. Do not go into this business using your personal account. Even if you are initially funding the startup with personal funds, get a federal ID number and set up a business account. That's called a federal ID. What do you call it? EIN, an employment ID, employment identification number, EIN. Good morning, John Clark. How are you? I'm sure you know what an EIN is too, huh? And set up a business account. I recommend you also obtain legal assistance to set up a limited liability corporation or whatever your attorney recommends in the right business structure for you. Also, have an accountant advise you and make sure you are filing the proper paperwork with the IRS and your state or local taxation authorities. I'm fortunate to live in New York, Hampshire. I'm fortunate to live in New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Why does the York come right out? New Hampshire. New Hampshire, which is the live free or die state. So we have no income or state taxes. Oh, you lucky bird. The majority of you will have to pay attention to those state and local tax laws, however, as well as federal tax law. Hiring professionals to have your back will allow you to stand powerfully and confidently in the spotlight, even if your spotlight is shining from the other side of the sofa and you are in your pajamas. You want to have many ways as possible to receive money. Receive money. Receive money. Let me say it one more time. Receive money. Step on the virtual stage. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so we've got this going on, some more pages on. Let's do this part next week, and then we'll go to chapter 8 after that, designing deliverables and delighting in the dollars. Step on the virtual stage next week, okay? Oh, Kinderheck.